And we are live. Welcome to the stream. Just double checking I've got audio. And we can start. Right. Yo, yo, yo. Right. Let's get into it. Let's get into what I'm doing and what is happening in the wider areas of crypto. I have put this back on sale, by the way. I had a couple of messages about it. DeFi playbook is included in this. So this is the no BS bull run plan. Originally, I had this on sale last year. If you want to pick it up, link is in the description. I'll talk about it later as well. But what I want to talk about is this. On previous videos and previous streams, I've talked about two particular strategies. The first strategy is the accumulate Bitcoin strategy, which is monthly dollar cost average into Bitcoin, supply the asset to Aave, take a loan, supply it to a liquidity pool, and then earn Bitcoin and build up your Bitcoin balance. Similarly, I've talked about this strategy, which using an altcoin such as Solana, you supply it to a liquidity pool. Solana example is Orca. Then you earn yield and do what you want with it. This is what I'm doing, and this is a modified, slightly modified strategy of what I'm doing at the moment. And what I'm doing is with Keter. I'm not telling you to buy Keter. If you're watching this and don't own Keter, fair enough, right? Fair enough. But I'm showing you what I'm doing with my Keter. So this is the strategy at the moment. And the idea is with the yield that I'm getting with the Keter and Ethereum that I'm getting back from this liquidity pool, which is around 67, 68%. It is variable, obviously. Earning around $200, $240 a month off 4K. Obviously, you can scale that up and you can see what it would earn. What I'm doing is I've supplied the asset to VFAT, which is the yield aggregator on here. I've put it in a Keter ETH pool. So supplied some ETH to this, deposited into this, and now it's earning yield. This was it this morning, and obviously this is variable. It goes to, it's roughly around this, and this is realistic. Around 6% a month I've been getting. That then will get compounded back into the pool. So the amount I've got in the pool will go up. Then, as that goes up, the monthly rewards go up, and it keeps compounding. But the thing is, it will keep compounding also because if I do my dollar cost average every month, which I do in crypto, straight into this particular pool, everything grows. My objective for the channel, my objective for this section of the DeFi portfolio, I obviously have a separate hodl bag, is to grow this particular DeFi portfolio, a 4K to 10K as fast as possible. With the compound effect, that means that the more I earn monthly goes up, the more I earn goes up, and the size of the portfolio goes up. And on the basis of that, I accumulate more ETH and Kita as time goes on. And as I mentioned before, if you check the news, I briefly check Polymarket, to be honest with you, rather than, the noise of mainstream media. I've got a friend who is obsessed with Sky News. I don't sit watching Sky News like him all day, like an NPC. Everything is about war. Everything is about uncertainty in the market. And it's pretty obvious that this year is not going to be a massive altcoin season for crypto. So for me, and I've said this before, the best thing to do for me is to accumulate more of my coins. And the best way I can do that at a far more efficient rate and quicker rate and better rate than just holding it or dollar cost averaging is the strategy that I've just explained. Dollar cost averaging into the pool, earn yield, compound that, and then the double effect of dollar cost averaging in and compounding means that this is just going to keep growing. So I get more Kita, I get more ETH, keeps going up, and I like Kita and I like ETH. That's why I'm going for them. Now, if you don't believe in Kita and you don't believe in ETH, if you want to try this strategy, that means try something else. You might believe in a coin that I don't like. That's completely fine. But you have to have conviction in what you get into. You can't do this with coins you hate or coins you don't believe in. So if you get into, I don't know, Dogecoin or whatever, you can obviously search them on here. Go in the pools. There's 5,260 assets you can search on here, whatever that is. I might not like what you get into. You might not like what I get into. But there is something on here for everyone that is not particularly interested in Kita. But whatever it is, the strategies that can be used, which is the altcoin one here, you don't have to follow my strategy, but you've got the altcoin strategy, which can earn you yield to spend stack stocks or stack BTC or to spend on whatever, or the BTC strategy, which is either using your existing BTC or dollar cost averaging into BTC, supplying it and taking a loan back off it. So you never, ever sell your Bitcoin. That is the other strategy. Never sell your Bitcoin, take a loan back on it, and then use it in liquidity pools. But what I will say is, me personally, I would never take a crypto loan on anything other than Bitcoin because you're just not guaranteed what it'll do. I mean, obviously you're not guaranteed with Bitcoin, but let's be honest. If Bitcoin crashes, if anything happens with Bitcoin, the whole of the market gets destroyed anyway. So, of course, you're taking a risk with that, but if Bitcoin crashes, the whole of the system comes down anyway. So the last thing you want to worry about is, Bitcoin's gone down. Well, the whole of the system will go down. Not one coin will survive if Bitcoin doesn't, in my opinion. Everything, the whole house of cards will come falling down. And that goes to the question we have here. With a 10K portfolio, 4K loans, that's around 40% TVL. Right? Or 60%, should I say, if you look at the other way. 25 to 30% loan is what I usually look at. But again, just BTC in my opinion. Because I've seen people saying about taking loans in other coins, and you're just not guaranteed what will happen with them. The amount of charts we look at on this channel where the chart is just dead, you're always going to have issues with will a coin tank. That is the issue. Kita could tank, but that is a coin I'm accumulating. So you need to have belief in whatever you accumulate. But the rule I have is obviously I only take loans against BTC, nothing else, because that is just something I believe in more than the others. So, and if you look at Poly market, it ain't looking good for this year with the coins. And I've recorded another video today, actually, and I'm just trying to find the exact chart that I looked at, which is basically showing where we are on the 4-year cycle. Let me see if I can find it. 4-year cycle. And with the 4-year cycle, no, it isn't dead. If you look at any chart, you can see that it's just the same thing every time, where we've got a clear bear market and a clear bull market. Will it all merge into one eventually? Probably, but not for a long time. There's always going to be the obvious bull market and bear market each time. I think it was on TradingView that I found it. Here we are. Now, ignore the drawings on here that show like it getting to like 500k. I think this guy's just saying this is the pattern. But the pattern so far is all this here, where you've got the all-time high, then you've got a period of consolidation. I agree with the period of consolidation, which shows from the top in late 25 all the way till the bottom. This isn't obviously exact, but the bottom back end of this year, then we slowly have a rise up, going past the all-time high, back when we have the next Bitcoin halving and the rally up in 2028. And you can see here at the bottom, overbought, oversold. It's right at the bottom of that. It's just following the pattern each time. And this is what I'm saying to people, where it's like, stop watching the videos of people. Stop watching the videos of people with the top 5 coins for this year. The new shiny coin for this year. You need to be in consolidation, accumulation mode, cultivating mode, getting more of the coins you believe in. I'm not telling you what you should or should not believe in. I'm just giving you the tools and the knowledge to do that, right? And to not do anything stupid, which is just keep buying new coins. Everything is about buying new coins, buying new coins, buying new coins all the time. So I just got an email. I don't know what that was about. And that is it. So going back here, you wouldn't recommend taking a loan with Link or ETH as collateral. I mean, ETH isn't. ETH as collateral, obviously, I'd say is less risky than Link just because it's higher in market cap, but I still would only stick to Bitcoin personally. I'd only stick with Bitcoin. That is just the way I am. Can you use the Link or ETH in pools? Yeah, there's many. On the other stream, you went through plenty of them, and I've actually listed roughly what is available here for you to earn. Again, these are variable, and what you'll probably find in the year is these are some of the rates available at the moment for yields. So 55% for Ethereum, 57% for Solana, 20% XRP, 65% Avalanche, 38% Chainlink. Now, you'll see the variation up and you'll see the variation down. So let's just say you're in these for a year. You've got 2 aspects to look at for the rates on these. Higher end, you could get up to 100 plus at points, and lower end, you could get to say 20%. So that's how variable it is. And then you've got roughly somewhere in the middle is where the average will be over the year. But the first aspect is the variable range. So again, you're going to get probably same with that. XRP on a 20%, you're probably going to get like a 50 high, maybe 8 low. Avalanche, you might get like 150% high. I don't know, 30 low. Link could be 70% high, 15% low. So the first aspect is the variable APR, but the second aspect is the compound effect. Because, let's say you get Ethereum at 120%. If you get an Ethereum at 120%, that's 10% a month, right? You have 10 Ethereum in the pool, equivalent of 10 Ethereum. Gain 10%, you'll gain 1 Ethereum a month. So obviously the following month, you've got 11 Ethereum. So overall on that original 10 Ethereum, by the time we get to the end of the year, you got 11 Ethereum earning 1. And by the end of the year, you've got nearly double what you had. So that 55%, it'll just accumulate as you go through the months because you're adding on to your total. If you are doing the compound effect here. Now you can spend it if you want, obviously, but for me, if you're into your crypto, you believe in it long term, then it is the consolidation, it is the accumulation year that will happen. What kind of BTCs you run as collateral? Well, it depends. It depends. I have done it on CBBTC, and if people don't know what that is, I'll show you now. We go over to Aave. And you can see here, and it's Coinbase wrapped BTC. So there's some Bitcoin locked up here. I did it to show you as an example. And you basically use your BTC as collateral, and you can then loan back some USDC. There are other ones you can do it on. The beauty of the base network is there's quite a decent rewards rate on Aave for that. There are other platforms you can use. Another one, and this is one where you can actually work out, and I've shown this before, is Spark. So in this, you can borrow. It shows all different networks on here. So you got Ethereum, Base, Arbitrum, Gnosis, Optus, and Unichain Avalanche. And what you can do is activate sandbox mode. And sandbox mode is basically just free play. So you can see what you can lock up. Again, you can see all the different CBDCs. You got the Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin. You've got the wrapped Bitcoin, which is on Ethereum. LBTC, I'm not sure what that is. WE ETH. Oh, sorry, that's not BTC. And then it shows you what you can borrow. So again, if you wanted to do it on Spark, you can lock up CBBTC. DAI is a stable coin, USDC is a stable coin, USDT is a stable coin. But if you wanted to do USDC, this will actually show you what you can do. So if you want to lock up, you mentioned 10K. That is what it's saying for 4K with around 10K BTC. And then what it will show you, if you wanted to lend 4K off 10K BTC, there's your liquidation price of BTC, 32 grand. So if BTC goes below that, then you get liquidated. So you need to add more collateral. But this is where you keep an eye on your health factor. Health factor above 2 is pretty much what you look for. Well over 2. Mine on here, 2.21. All right, once it goes below 1, you're liquidated. But again, 2.19 on here, liquidation price at 32K. I mean, you'd know well in advance once it goes that low. And you can always add more collateral to outweigh that. Now there is more guys watching as well. This, I've just, for anyone who's actually bought the No BS Bull Run plan, I've updated it. You get the DeFi playbook included in it. And if you want to purchase the No BS Bull Run plan, written by me, it's not AI. You can do that with link in description. I'll put it in now, actually, if you want to do that. There you go. Now, some may say, why not just hold? And I would say to you, if you believe in something long term, why would you not accumulate more of it? And people will say, oh, what about the risk? What about the risk of me getting into DeFi rather than holding it? There's no risk with holding it. And I get what you're saying. You've got to do your research. So anything that you get in. So for example, if I was to go back to this, right? This pool is on Uniswap on Base, right? Uniswap. So we go over here. We type Uniswap in. Oh, look, 3.19 billion is locked in this protocol. So it isn't small. It isn't a small thing. And then this is what you got to do with your research. So you say, right, well, I'm putting my money in something that has 3 billion locked in it. And then also, right, I want to lock up my Bitcoin on Aave. Let's have a look at that. Okay, Aave. Go back over to this. 24 billion. 24 billion is locked in Aave. This isn't some backstreet thing. This is insane. And if you type in, I remember doing this the other day, actually. Right. If we go on here, this is a bank in the UK, right? Total assets, 15 billion. There's more assets in Aave than a bank. 24 billion. Right? Another one that just got approved, and I think you've probably heard of it. Revolut. Now has a UK banking license. Doesn't actually say it's assets. What does it say here? Here we are. Profit, revenue mix, customer balances, 50 billion, 30 billion in 2024. So you can see the comparative size of using something like Aave. This isn't like a few 100,000 or whatever. These are massive, massive protocols. And it's all done by smart contracts as well. And one thing, and this is what I did today, actually. So I'm going to show you this. This is it here. This is the new heading. The biggest risk is not taking a risk. And again, it goes back to this. For me, this is a big thing. And there's a lot of people that and ah about even getting into crypto. So you've gone past the first hurdle. But this is it with a lot of things. And I get a lot of comments in the comment section of people when I talk about this stuff. Well, it's too risky. Why are you promoting this risky thing? And it's like, look, you're in crypto, right? How many people that are not in crypto tell you who's just bought Bitcoin, let's just say you've not bought anything else, that it's risky, right? Anyone who doesn't understand something calls it risky, right? But this is what I like, and this is what I kind of think. If you don't take any risks, you fail, in my opinion. And this includes like buying Bitcoin or whatever. But I would rather try, right, and fail than just fail anyway, right? And I'm not saying you have to put all your crypto portfolio into DeFi. I've not. You can see that it's a small amount that I'm just growing to show you what can be done with a small amount by the end of the year. We're going to just get it running up and getting to a point where it actually can generate the same as a full-time wage. And I know that by the time we get to the very last live stream of the year, but out there in December, this crypto portfolio, this small DeFi thing of 4.3K as it is in the moment, will be a lot higher. And I know that what I'm going to do is go back to, because it was 3K originally, I'm going to go back to this page on here, go on the lives, and I'm going to look at one of the very first streams done 2 months ago. And what I'm going to do is look at the portfolio then and look at it at the end of the year. And there's going to be people watching that stream that have maybe watched one of the early ones in the year and going to be pissed off because they'll think, well, you know what? All I've done is hold this year, done nothing. Matt's shown that he's grown this portfolio over the course of the year, and it's only going to go higher and higher and higher whilst I've sat there and done nothing and took action. That is the thing what a lot of people will do. And that is, now obviously I'm not saying put in crypto what you can't afford to lose, but the idea is you're in crypto, you understand the risks of being in crypto because there's a lot of scams that go around. There's a lot of there's a lot of rug pulls in crypto. You got the ridiculous price predictions, you got the meme coins, everything thrown at you in crypto. Unfortunately, there's just a lot that happens. So if you want to try something, start low, go from there, and then you can accumulate more of your favorite cryptocurrency, because it's going to be quite a while until we get back to the all-time highs of the previous year. Not just from a macro perspective with the wars, global economic crisis, whatever, oil, the score. But the 4-year cycle itself and how that plays out is going exactly as previous. So you need to understand that. And people think that crypto has changed, and I keep seeing a lot of videos where people are saying the 4-year cycle has changed. The 4-year cycle has changed. I don't think it has at all. The 4-year cycle is still intact. No matter what YouTube video you watch about the market pumping tomorrow, no matter about all the clickbait videos that are saying that because this deal with Iran, this war with whatever, once this stops, we're going to the moon. We're not. We're not going to the moon. Let's be realistic, right? The consolidation period is here. So what you do in that consolidation period is key. And watching the mental masturbation videos of people with ridiculous price predictions and XRP is going to 10K and Cardano's going to $100 every single day is not going to do anything. And I guarantee that 99% of crypto channels give absolutely zero value in what they produce, and they will not help you in any way, shape, or form at all. Because aside from talking about new meme coins, 100x alpha, or just reporting on the news, there's no real value in there, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, there's nothing. All right, there's some trading ones which are decent. You may get ones here and there, but the majority that keep coming up with the ridiculous price predictions is not helping you as a crypto holder. Because as you remember me saying, I held a Celsius network token back in the day, Cell token. They were talking about a $260 sell. The price of the token never came, and that happens a lot in crypto. Ridiculous price predictions never coming true, and people just hold on to the coin throughout, hoping that something is going to happen. And believe me, it isn't. It isn't. So you look at where we are now. I don't expect this to go any more ridiculous this year, personally. I just can't see it happening. And the idea is I'm not concentrating on the price of Bitcoin. Obviously, I want to keep an eye on it, but whether it's 70k or 50k or 40k, it's not of much concern at the moment. For me, it's all about earning yield from my existing crypto and growing this through this method, which happens with more volume. So we get more volume, it goes up. Price goes down, doesn't matter. Price goes up, doesn't matter. We keep on going, we keep accumulating. And that is the game to play this year, because that is the way you're going to earn money. That is the way you're going to earn money this year in crypto, is by following one of the two strategies that I speak about. For the new viewers watching, it's either this one. Oh, one sec. It's either not that one. This one, which is accumulate more Bitcoin by taking a loan against your Bitcoin and using it in pools. 2, supplying your asset into a liquidity pool, earning yield, using it to do what you want, stack BTC, spend, or diversify, aka stocks. Or 3, a combination of kind of the both, which is what I'm doing with my Ethereum and my Kita. But to sum up, going into Q2, this is what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything with BTC personally. I'm just compounding and accumulating more in this particular pool. Will that change? Possibly, yeah, if the rates drop ridiculously. If I reposition, I'll let you know. You shouldn't be scared, in my opinion, of, impermanent loss, blah, blah, blah. As long as you're earning decent yield, as long as you've got decent ranges on your crypto, and if you want your hand holding or whatever, you can book a call with us and we can go through it in the group. But that's everything from me today. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll be back for plenty more very soon.